Okay, so welcome back. This is lecture 6 of auditing concepts, and this is for CAAP, CMA Intermediate June 2022 attempt. ठीक है? So lecture 6 चालू कर रहे हैं हम. So we ended here last time. Now advantages of audit. ठीक है? We'll start with advantages of audit. Now quickly going into our standards tab. Okay. So I had taken you through these standards right in the previous lecture. ठीक है? इतना तक मैंने आपको बताया था, right? So यही देखेंगे हम in the next few classes till you become comfortable with these, then we will pick up the next one. Okay. So सबसे पहले what is SQC1? ठीक है? It is quality control for a firm doing audit. ठीक है? In short. ठीक है? That is SQC1. Then next is SQC 200 to 299. ठीक है? This is the list you have to remember. 9 in all here. 4 and 5 is 9, including SQC1, it's 10. ठीक है? In the 200s, you have got 9 essays. Okay. Then comes 300. So 200 is overall objectives of the independent auditor and the conduct of audit in accordance with essays. ठीक है? Then is 210 is agreeing the terms of audit engagements. Okay. Or 220 is quality control for an audit of financial statements. This is a very important one, used a lot. 230 is audit documentation. ठीक है? तब ये 4 को मैंने बताया था आपको how to remember it. First is see the overall objective, see the objectives, and then agree to the terms. If you are able to fulfill the objectives, then agree to the terms. ठीक है? Otherwise, quality will not be good. ठीक है? ये बस मैं एक memory technique बता रहा हूँ. Otherwise, quality will not be good. So you can remember quality control for audit of financial statements. ठीक है? And quality should be good. ठीक है? Because you have to document it. ठीक है? So इसलिए quality should be good. And after documenting everything, ठीक है, you will be able to find out fraud, if there is any fraud or any problem with the laws and regulations. ठीक है? Auditor's responsibilities regarding fraud and here considerations of laws and regulations. ठीक है? So these two things you can find out. ठीक है? Once you have found out this, what you should do, go communicate with the people who are charged with governance. Okay, the management, and then tell them that reason for this fraud is deficiencies in internal control. Here you will tell it with those who are charged with governance and management. Okay, these two are twin conditions. I said close conditions. You're communicating with those charged with governance and those charged with governance and management. Correct. So twin or joint conditions. इससे ये आता है responsibilities of joint auditors. This is how you can remember these. Okay. The last time also I told you this. Again, we are revising this. Yeah. Okay. In the next 1 or 2 classes also, I'll repeat the same thing, and then I'll move to the 300s. Okay. इसके बाद we'll go to the 300s like that. Okay. Okay. So चलो और so here, right, back to advantages of audit. This is where we have to start today's session. ठीक है? अब ये जो कल के सेशन में जो हम पढ़े थे ना, it's more or less the same points, only if advantages of audit is asked. ठीक है? Okay, so whatever we studied yesterday, it's more or less mixture of those points. ठीक है? It is a tool to protect interest of stakeholders. Okay, moral check of employees we have seen. Employees remain alert and keep books and records updated. Okay, and audited accounts are considered more reliable by the government. For example, tax audit. Okay, tax audit is more reliable with taxation authorities. Facilitates detection of wastages and losses. Okay, okay, and they have reliability for corporate restructuring, amalgamations, valuations, etc. Okay. Banks, financial institution will give financial assistance easily for giving loan, that is. Okay. helps in settlement of accounts between the partners. Okay, you can see most of these points we have already seen in the significance of audit topic, correct? Significance is nothing but advantage only, right? Okay, so these are the advantages of audit. तो पूरा पूरा याद रखने की जरूरत नहीं, just remember some points, that's it. ठीक है? Okay. चलो, then is advantages की बात कर दिए, तो next we should talk about limitations. Okay. So what are limitations of audit? As per SA 200, okay, objective of an audit is to express an opinion as to the true and fair view, correct? So now, if auditor has given the statement saying, yeah, the accounts are showing true and fair view, okay, financial statements are showing true and fair view of the state of affairs. So then the user should not believe that this opinions means assurance as to the future viability, that this is a good organization to invest in future. It doesn't mean that. Okay, it is only saying that the financial statements are showing a true and fair view. He is not saying what is the future prospects and all that. Okay, or he is not saying that the management is very efficient. Okay, that is no certificate regarding efficiency of management. Only thing is that the accounts which has been presented, it's showing the correct position of the enterprise. That's all. Okay. Okay. Then the scope of audit is determined by terms of engagement. The person who is hiring the auditor, he'll tell him which area he wants to be audited. Terms of engagement, requirement of relevant legislation, okay, and pronouncement of ICAI. These three things determine the scope of audit. Okay, one is terms of engagement, second relevant legislation, whatever the legislation wants him to do, that the auditor has to do. Okay, and the pronouncements of ICAI, right? The appointing authority, that is the client, cannot restrict legislation or the pronouncement of ICAI, correct? Okay. Now, who is responsible for preparing financial statement? It's not the auditor. Okay, responsibility for preparation of financial statement is that of the enterprise. Okay, responsibility of preparation of financial statement is that of the enterprise, the management of the enterprise. Okay, the management responsibility includes maintenance of adequate accounting records, internal controls, okay, selection and application of accounting policies, and safeguarding of assets. All this is management work. Okay, so an audit does not relieve the management of its responsibilities. Okay, right? Chalo. Now we'll see inherent limitations of audit. Okay, this was the opening statement. Okay, now we'll see the limitations. Okay. So audit does not guarantee that all material misstatements will be detected. Okay, there's no guarantee that all material misstatements will be detected because why? Because audit is of test nature. Okay, you only test certain areas. Okay, so all misstatements will not be detected. Audit evidence available to the auditor is persuasive. Audit evidence is persuasive and not conclusive. Okay, so what do you mean by persuasive? Audit evidence tells that okay, there is some problem in this area. Okay, so he gets some figure by which he will come to know that there is some problem, but out of 100 employees, who is the person creating the problem? That he will not know. Okay, so evidence is persuasive and not conclusive. And inherent limitations of internal control. Okay, so internal control has some limitations that certain levels of management can override it. Correct. When I told you that one employee should not be able to go to the end of the chain. Correct. But what about the manager who is the head of the department? He can go to the end of the chain, right? So certain levels of management can override internal controls. Okay. Then professional skepticism. Okay, there is in audit, this word is used a lot. Professional skepticism. Okay, what it means is it is an approach that it would ensure that if something goes wrong, then it is detected. Okay, if something is wrong, then it will detect it. Skepticism means alertness. Professionally, he'll be alert. Okay, something is wrong, he's just seeing somebody showing some pages, something is wrong, he'll catch it, he'll be able to catch it, he's alert enough. Okay, that is called professional skepticism. Okay, it helps him in identifying and evaluating matters that increase the risk of material misstatements resulting from fraud or error. So using that, he can find out. Okay, professional skepticism is a quality of an auditor. Okay, so he'll be able to identify matters that will increase the risk of material misstatements resulting from fraud or error. Okay, circumstances that make him suspect material misstatements. Okay, circumstances that will make him suspect material misstatements. Okay, and the question of management's representations reliability. Okay, third is the question of management's representations reliability. How much is the management reliable? Okay, the auditor is entitled to accept the records and documents as genuine unless there is some evidence to the contrary. Okay, so auditor is entitled to accept the records and documents as genuine unless there is some evidence to the contrary. Okay, if it doesn't get any evidence, then he can accept it as genuine. Okay, so this is the point, professional skepticism. Okay, so basically अब ये जो है, अब ये वाला जो point है कि it is in limitations, correct? ये जो point आ रहा है आपका number 2, inherent limitations of an audit में, one is all material misstatements will not be detected because of this nature of audit. Second is professional skepticism. ठीक है, so ये भी, this also means that auditor will have to be alert all the time. ठीक है, so if auditor is little less alert or something like that, then there will be a misstatement, or these misstatements might not be found out. Okay, so that's why it is there in the limitations point. Okay, okay. So then last point of limitation is materiality. Materiality is one of the basic concepts in auditing and accounting. So materiality यानी क्या important है ज्यादा. ठीक है, ठीक है, जैसे for example materiality का आपके based on our studies हम देखेंगे अगर. ठीक है, so for example say if you have a subject, ठीक है, one is of 40 marks. ठीक है, one section is of 40 marks, another section is of 30 marks. ठीक है, then 15 marks and then 15 marks. ठीक है, so now you have been able to study these two. ठीक है, so अभी आपको ये दो हो गए आपके preparation, you have been able to study these two. Now you have less time. ठीक है, so either you go for this one 40 marks or for this bottom 15 marks, either go for this or go for this. ठीक है, so what will you do? Which is more material? That is, which is more important? This has 40 marks. If you are able to give proper time, you can get even 25 out of 40, but out of 15 you cannot get 25, right? Okay, so you will go for this based on importance. Similarly, auditor has many things to check. Okay, so he will check those which are material. Okay, there is some area, as I said, there is say some storekeeper, he knows that this person is doing something wrong, but he doesn't want to invest time there because there are many more important things. Okay, so that means he will see whatever is material and test that first. Okay, so materiality is a fundamental concept in accounting and auditing. So auditor has to constantly and continuously judge whether transaction is material or not. Okay, it is used by him in audit planning. Okay, so plan is audit based on whatever is important. ठीक है, materiality means important, ठीक है, important in which way, cost wise or profit wise, effect wise, value wise, ठीक है, okay, which will be important. It influences the economic decision of the user. Okay, what is material in one circumstances may not be material in another circumstance. Okay, ठीक है, if you are auditing a bank, interest is its main income. ठीक है, so interest becomes material for you. If you are say auditing a supermarket which doesn't invest too much outside, interest is a very small amount, that becomes immaterial for it. Okay, so what is material in one circumstances might not be material in another circumstances. ठीक है, therefore changes need to be done accordingly. ठीक है, fine. तो मैं जो भी ये बता रहा हूँ ये सब just go through this, I'll give you these notes. ठीक है, so just go through these और इसके मेरे साथ साथ प्रिपेयर करना है ऑडिटिंग में भी. ठीक है, अभी टाइम नहीं, जैसे मैंने बोला है कि आपको 15 तक और लिटिल बिफोर इट बट नॉट लेटर देन इट, श्योर. ओके, पूरा आपका 100% ऑडिट विल बी कंप्लीटेड इन डिटेल, अच्छी तरह से. ओके, इट विल बी कंप्लीटेड. जस्ट गो विथ मी एंड ईमानदारी से आप करोगे, यू कैन स्कोर 35 to 40 इजीली. ओके, सो चलो तो आगे चलेंगे. नेक्स्ट इज व्हाट, ऑडिटर्स एंगेजमेंट. ओके, सो ऑडिटर्स एंगेजमेंट में, सो ठीक है, ये दिस इज अबाउट एंगेजिंग एन ऑडिटर. ओके, और the contract between the auditor and the client. Okay, that is called audit engagement. Okay, so now for statutory audit, okay, so objective and scope is clearly described in the law. When you are doing a statutory audit, whatever the law has laid down, वो करना है. Okay, that we have to do. There is no way of doing less than that. Okay, or there's no way of doing what the client says. You have to go as per the law in statutory audit. Okay, for non-statutory audit, it has to be stated with absolute clarity to avoid any kind of ambiguity. And ambiguity means doubt. Okay, so in non-statutory audit, the engagement letter is very critical as to what is the nature of the engagement. Okay, what is the area going to be checked, all that. Okay, it should be very clear. Okay, so misunderstanding may arise about the exact scope of work. Now what happens sometimes is, clients, many times clients do not have good knowledge of the audit work. Okay, they do not have good knowledge. So what happens is, okay, so client may ask auditor to prepare the accounts. Okay, so if an auditor is preparing some part of the accounts, he's preparing, then he cannot audit it himself. Okay, auditor has to be different from the person who has prepared the accounts. But client may think that auditor is preparing the accounts. Okay, so that means audit is also done. So preparing in the audit is also done. Okay, there can be misunderstanding like that. Okay, so to avoid that kind of misunderstanding or dispute, it is better that both the auditor and client, they define the scope of engagement. Okay, define the scope of engagement clearly and in writing, that what the auditor will do, what he will not do. Make it very clear. Okay, in the audit engagement letter. Okay, audit engagement letter is kind of the contract between the auditor and the client. Okay, so what does the engagement letter signify? It signifies a confirmation by auditor, okay, of acceptance of appointment. Okay, and he'll document the objectives. So what are the things he's going to do, scope of audit, okay, and his responsibilities to the client. So what is the work he is going to do, everything about it. Okay, and if the report is to be in some forms, then that also. If anything is special about the audit engagement, if they want reports in certain forms, all that also should be mentioned. Okay, so the more detailed the engagement letter is, the better it is to avoid disputes. Okay, so यहाँ पे ICI has issued SAS 4410, SRS 4400 and SRE 2400 in this regard. ठीक है, these three are auditing standards. ठीक है, so ये रहा, आपको मैं बताता हूँ ये This is C. The third one is SRE 2400, correct? In the standards, if you go, first of all, this 210, no, SA 210, agreeing the term of audit engagements. Okay, this will come into play. ये जो है आपका, this one, agreeing the term of audit engagements, this will come into play. Okay, and then जो है, just go down. Okay, so here, this is the one. The three which were mentioned there. One is this SRE 2400. Okay, engagements to review financial statements. The last two are these two, 4400 and 4410. Okay, engagements to perform agreed upon procedures regarding financial information and engagements to compile financial information. Okay, these are the three mentioned there. Okay, okay. Right, so ये है 4410, 4400 and 4400. Okay, so these have been issued relating to that. Okay, apart from SA 210, which is the main standard. Okay, for audit engagement. Okay, so what all things you should, if you want to tabulate, okay, what are the main subjects you should show in your audit engagement letter? Okay, so following references should be made in the audit engagement letter. Okay, objective and scope, management responsibility for financial statements. Okay, that management is responsible for financial statements. Existence of inherent limitations of audit and resulting material misstatements that may remain undiscovered. This also you should put in the engagement letter. That okay, not all material misstatements can be discovered. Okay. Okay. So there can be need for use of services of internal auditors. Okay. You might need to use the services of internal auditors and some other experts, okay, in the audit, right? So requirement of management confirmation, okay, as regards representations made by them concerning audit, okay. So whatever management is saying, okay, this is like this, and whatever they are, say if they are committing certain things, okay, just take a confirmation letter that you have already confirmed these things. Okay, that's called management confirmation letter. Okay, now restriction of the auditor's liability, if any. Okay, in case there is any restriction, that is for joint audit and all, if there is some other auditor, okay, that you will have to mention. Okay, so and then of course, most important, restriction of audit, basis of computation of audit fees and billing arrangements. Okay, how the fees will be paid. In the end, the auditor is doing his giving a professional service, isn't it? So of course, he will need to be paid, isn't it? So computation of fees and how he'll be billed, that also you can put. Okay, forms of report is also important because it gets missed out, and whether you are giving a report in a specific form or in a general form makes a lot of difference. Okay, makes a lot of difference regarding the timing of the work. Okay, so forms of report and other communication results of the engagement also should be mentioned. Okay, okay. So एक minute. So there's a leading case called Leach versus Stokes. Okay, this is a leading case regarding audit engagement letter. Okay, so what happened in this case? Main thing is important for you. Okay, okay. Here the auditors had to prepare an annual P&L account. Okay, of a firm of solicitors. Okay, they have to prepare an annual P&L account. Now, so the evidence showed that proper books of accounts were not maintained. Okay, so the firm of solicitors did not maintain proper books of accounts. Okay, okay, though the firm collected large sums by way of rent on behalf of its clients. Okay, so this firm, okay, it used to collect large amount by way of rent, okay, for his clients, but they did not maintain proper books of accounts, okay. So no proper cash book or client's ledger, nothing was properly maintained. So on the basis of record of bills against clients, okay, so what the auditors did is to prepare P&L account, they used the record of bills against clients, okay, and some summary firms expenses. Nothing detailed was there, and prepared the P&L account, okay. Okay, so here they prepared the P&L account, okay. So subsequently it was found that there was, so the P&L account was prepared, okay, हो गया यहाँ तक के बाद, ठीक है. Later on it was found that there was misappropriation of rents collected, ठीक है. जो rents जो collect हुआ, it was misappropriated, ठीक है. So that was seen, ठीक है. Maybe होगा कोई किसी partner ने किया होगा या whatever, whoever has done it. So there was misappropriation, okay. So they sued the auditors for negligence, saying they did not discover, okay. So इसके ऊपर judgment was given, okay. So here judgment was given purely on the basis of facts. It held the auditors not guilty, ठीक है. क्यों? क्योंकि in their engagement letter, in their audit engagement letter, they had clearly indicated the restricted nature of the engagement. In the engagement letter itself, they had written that, so you do not have proper records. So as much as possible, we'll prepare using your records, but we are not responsible for anything else. Something to that effect, they would have written in their engagement letter. So the judgment held them not guilty. Okay. So this is a very, very good case of audit engagement letter. Okay. So even for this part, I'll just, ये वाला जो part है about this case, ठीक है, इसको हम एक मिनट. Okay, we'll just shorten this as well. ठीक है, इसको हम छोटा कर देंगे, इतना बड़ा we don't need it. Okay, just need to know the case, that's all. ठीक है. So yeah, this is Leach versus Stokes about audit engagement letter. Okay. Chalo, ठीक है. So what is next? Okay. Next is functional classification of audit, okay, as external and internal audit. The functional classification of audit में we'll see external audit versus internal audit. Okay. So now external auditors are appointed by the owners. Okay. Owners means, for example, shareholders for company. Okay. Okay. Like for partnership firm, members, जो partners है, they will be the owners. Okay. So external auditors are appointed by the owners. Okay. And when they are appointed under a particular statute, so when you have to do company audit as per Companies Act, okay, then they are called as statutory auditors. Same external auditors koi, you call them statutory auditors when they are doing audit under a statute. Okay. Like internal auditors, where they are appointed by the management internally. Okay. Internal auditors may be appointed on contractual basis, or they are, many times they are employees of the organization. Okay. Some employee of the organization does the internal audit in most cases. Okay. Now, scope of work for external audit, it is determined by the particular statute. Okay. It is determined by the particular statute. So mostly external auditors will be statutory auditors. Okay. And it will be determined by the statute. And internal auditors have to work within the scope defined by the management. So management will define it for the internal auditor. Okay. What they do is they will review and appraise the accounting, okay, financial, administrative controls, internal controls. More or less, they will do audit work only. Okay, but only thing will be that they will be reporting to the management. Whereas your statutory auditor, he is going to be independent of the management. Okay. So ye hai, these are the 2 points, and then okay. Now external auditor has to collect adequate and reliable evidence. Okay. he has to collect evidence to support his opinion. What is his opinion? Normally it will be true and fair view. Okay. To support his opinion of true and fair view, he has to collect sufficient appropriate audit evidence. Okay. And internal auditors are concerned with compliances of various policies. Okay, rules and procedures. They just check whether everything has been done or not. It's like, they're like second level checks, okay, of the company itself. Okay. Compliance with applicable laws and CAAP, generally accepted accounting principles, accounting standards, everything has been complied or not. They'll check all those things. Okay. It's like a second level check. In many companies, we call it QC check, quality control check. It is a second level check within the same company, basically. So it is more like that. Okay. Chalo, okay. And then last is external auditors are directly responsible to the owners, in some cases to third parties. Okay. So internal auditors do not have any freedom to report to the outsiders. Okay. Unko, they will have to report to the management only. Okay. External auditors normally report to the owners. In some cases, they will report to the to third parties, like maybe government is getting an audit conducted or something like that. Okay. Unlike external auditors, internal auditors are generally not considered as independent of the management. Okay. They are employees of the management mostly. So how can they be independent of the management? But to derive full benefit from audit, even internal auditor must be independent as much as possible. Okay. So these are the points. Okay. So next we'll be doing is types of audit. Okay, so here I'll just say we'll continue. ठीक है, so चलिए फिर we'll continue in the next video.